Hello Newbury Primary School, it's Mr Hall here and we have chapter 3 of Toto, the Ninja Cat and the Great Snake Escape. Also, if you did do the research that was recommended a couple of days ago on St Paul's Cathedral, the Tower of London, Buckingham Palace and the Shard, it'd be really nice if you could pop that in the comments underneath and let me know what you found out. Tell me one brilliant fact about each, and I may well select a winner. So, chapter 3. I didn't know London was so big, said Toto, as they ambled down a side street near Whitehall, just by the Houses of Parliament. My dear, replied Catface, we've barely scratched the surface. We'll have to make this a regular outing. It would be my pleasure. As they turned into an otherwise quiet street, Silver noticed a lot of parked cars and men in uniform milling around. Where are we now, Catface? He asked. This all looks pretty important. Indeed, said Catface, this is number 10 Downing Street, the home of the human Prime Minister, the person in charge of the whole country. Before I take you home, I want to introduce you to a dear friend of mine. Now, hop up on that ledge so none of these fine police officers see us. They get a bit funny with about lots of cats around here. The narrow ledge was about 2 floors up and ran the length of the houses in the street. For humans it would have been a big climb and a big drop. For cats it was a piece of cake. They walked along it till they were almost over the door of 10 Downing Street itself. Toto and Silver were working out how to jump down when ahead of them Catface suddenly lost his footing and slipped, hurtling towards the ground. Toto, Silver cried, now would be a very good time to show off your ninja. But his sister had already disappeared into the darkness below. Toto knew that A, she was in a really bad mood with her brother for mentioning the ninja word, and B, she'd better hurry as Catface was about to get squished. Luckily, although for a ninja luck wasn't too necessary, she could just make out his shape, and more importantly, she could hear the almighty scream coming from his mouth. Toto caught up with Catface a metre or so off the ground and positioned her body so that she'd take the brunt of the fall. Then, just as they were about to hit the ground and the thought of Catface landing on her wasn't exactly top of Toto's wish list, she effortlessly pushed him off. He landed safely in a pile of leaves, while she landed nimbly on her feet. Well, that was rather spectacular, said a white and grey tabby cat who was leaning against the door of number 10, a martini glass full of milk in his paw and a bowler hat at a jaunty angle on his head. Catface, my dear friend, you do know how to make an entrance. Catface brushed himself down and tried to regain some composure. Just a slip, my good chum, happens all the time. Just as well this young lady was on hand to save the day, hey? So, aren't you going to introduce us? Said the tabby cat. Of course, it's the reason we're here, replied Catface. Allow me to present 2 young friends of mine, recently moved here from Puglia in Italy, from smashing families, local landowners and olive barons no less. This is Toto and her brother Silver. Silver had climbed down from the ledge and joined his sister. How do you do? They both said, as if they were meeting royalty. A pleasure to meet you, said the tabby cat, and bravo for saving our friend here. I thought he was a goner for a second. I served in the Queen's Cat Regiment as a young nipper. Tell me, young lady, with moves like that, are you ex-Italian Special Forces? I know a couple of Bengals who serve there. Toto glared at Silver as if to say, don't say a word. No, she said, those are just some tricks I picked up in the olive groves back home. We didn't catch your name. So sorry. Where are my manners? Catface said. Toto, Silver, allow me to introduce Chief Mouser, Head of Guest Liaison, Head of Feline Security and Head of Quality Control for all antique furniture of a napping standard. This is Larry the cat. Toto and Silver bowed solemnly. It made them feel rather silly, but they could tell Larry was an important cat, and it seemed like the right thing to do somehow. "The pleasure is all mine," said Larry. "Oh, don't bow. A shake of the paw is quite enough. So, Catface is showing you around, is he? Welcome to 10 Downing Street. Wonderful house. Almost 400 years old. It has a lot of stories to tell. So, Larry, what's the news?" asked Catface. It was clear that they were old friends. "Well, it's been rather busy. We had the Belgian party in last week, which you helped us out with. Thank you for that. They loved the tour. We've got the Russian cats coming on a diplomatic trip next month, and to top it off, there are a couple of parakeets flying over about half an hour ago, making the most awful racket. I could barely understand them. Something about a commotion up in Regent's Park, I say. Isn't that your neck of the woods?" "It is indeed, but I'm sure it's nothing," said Catface. "Parakeets are a hysterical bunch. Still, I'd best check it out and get these two back to their humans." "Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Toto and Silver. Make sure you drop by again sometime. I need to learn that move. Very impressive. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some night rounds to make. Good evening." At that, Larry tipped his pristine bowler hat and padded off up the street. Larry is quite possibly the coolest, most debonair cat in town, and certainly the most important, said Catface, watching him go. "Right, you two, let's get you home. Quite enough excitement for one night, and Toto, thank you. I don't know where you learnt that move, but I do think you saved my bacon. Silver, what are you staring at?" Silver was looking intently down a drain at the side of the street. "What's down here?" he asked. "I can hear noises. Is it rats? Is it? Can we go down? I haven't caught a rat in ages. Come on, let's do it. Toto, Catface." Catface looked rather pale. "No rat in their right mind would risk it. That's the sewer. You probably just heard the water whooshing and creaking through the tunnels. Yes, that's what it is. Simple as that. Come on," he said, walking off in the direction of the tube. "Good. You know what work back there, sis," Silver said, once Catface was out of earshot. "But did you think it was a bit weird for a cat to fall like that? I mean, you and I could make that jump easily. Plus, it was definitely rats I heard down that drain. I swear it. Catface is a lovely guy, but you have to admit, he's a little bit weird." "I'll give you that," Toto said. "He's an odd fish, all right, but we're new in town, so maybe we're the odd ones. Come on, let's catch up." As the cats stepped off the tube at Camden Town, not far from Regent's Park, it was clear that the parakeets had good reason to be hysterical. What had been a sleepy, tranquil night was now pandemonium. There were animals everywhere. The local dogs were barking, which in animal language is just shouting the same thing over and over again, and trying to get out of their gardens. The neighbourhood cats were hanging around the street corners, chatting loudly and looking moody. Birds of all sorts, blackbirds, pigeons, robins, tits, were swooping through the sky, making more noise than the rest of the animals put together. Even a couple of hedgehogs had emerged from a nearby bush, looking a bit sleepy and confused. Camden was in animal chaos. "Robert, what on earth is happening?" Catface asked a passing parakeet. "You sure you want to know?" the bird replied, perching on top of a gate. "It's the zoo. We flew over there about an hour ago, and the whole place is in uproar. Brian has escaped." And that's the end of Chapter 3. Tune in again tomorrow for Chapter 4. So, what task is there today? Well, today I'd like you to look up all about 10 Downing Street. And I want you to find out if there really is a cat living there. Goodbye, Ruby.